Good evening, and on behalf of the Park Authority Board and the Fairfax County Park Foundation, I welcome you to these special ceremonies. Tonight is about recognizing very special people and organizations. The Elly Doyle Park Service Awards will be presented. So too, Special Park Board Awards, as well as the Aiken Philanthropy Awards. We will also honor our outstanding volunteers, and this year we will present the inaugural Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Award. Tonight, it is a privilege and an honor for us to pay tribute to Ms. Elly Doyle, the former member and chair of the Park Board who was instrumental in the creation of our beautiful park system and inspired the Park Authority Board Awards program. She is now a recipient of the Chairman's Choice Award, joining a select number of recipients honored for their long-standing contributions to our parks. Tonight, we tell tales, share stories, and say thank you to the many individuals and organizations which support the Park Authority in a word, deed, and tangible gifts. To start this evening's ceremony, we have some special music from the Chambers Singers from Westfield High School singing Try Everything under the direction of Katie Pierce.
Till I
thank you for that wonderful performance from our local community. My name is Dr. Cynthia Jacobs Carter, and I represent Franconia District on the Park Board. As so many of you are aware, the Park Authority was among the first to pioneer virtual events such as these when the pandemic first struck and forced us all to take extraordinary measures to stay safe and in touch. Since the advent of miraculous vaccines, things are much safer despite COVID's continuing threat. However, with more than 350 guests generally in attendance at the live Elly Doyle Awards, we felt that continued vigilance via another virtual award ceremony just made sense. So this year, we are once again in the virtual sphere. I want to encourage you to share your congratulations via the chat feature tonight as well. It is my honor as chair of the Park Authority Awards Committee and as a former member of the Park Foundation Board of Directors to recognize the sponsorship of tonight's awards program by the Park Foundation, led by Roberta Bobby Longworth and her amazing staff. We could not do this without their continuing support, and we look forward to honoring their award recipients as well tonight. Joining me this evening as MC is Mason District Representative Ron Kendall, my committee co-chair. Ron and I will be working together to keep the program on track and moving forward. Virtual or in person, we always have lots of folks to hear from and lots of honorees. This year is no exception.
Good evening to everyone. It's a pleasure to join in this celebration. Cynthia, thank you for getting things rolling virtually.
As usual, we have a stellar assortment of speakers and special guests. Tonight, we will hear from Board of Supervisors Chair Jeff McKay, Mason District Supervisor Penny Gross, and past Award Committee Chair and Sully District Park Board Rep Maggie Godbold, who will pay tribute to Ms. Doyle. Park Authority Board Chairman Bill Bowie will provide our welcoming remarks in just a few moments, and Executive Director Jay Cole will share her perspectives with us, telling us about the completion of her 420 park tour and her first year's accomplishments. As noted, the Park Foundation plays an incredibly vital role, surpassing the 1 million mark in fundraising regularly. We will hear from Park Foundation Executive Director Roberta Longworth, followed by Foundation Chair Anita Herrera and Park Foundation Vice Chair Laura Aiken-Arliker.
So please get comfortable, grab something delicious to snack on, perhaps a congratulatory cocktail, and let's get the show on the road. Welcome to the 2022 Elly Doyle Park Service Awards.
Many of the volunteers and award recipients have already received special gifts. Our outstanding volunteers received a wonderful basket filled with products from our sites and agencies divisions. They also received a resolution from the park board and notice from local elected officials. Most of the actual awards have either been delivered or will arrive shortly. All that is left to be done tonight is to share their stories with you and to mark this very special occasion.
Former First Lady Rosalynn Carter understands what it is to be a leader. She wrote, "A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go, but ought to be." Bill Bowie is that kind of a leader. Chairman Bowie has represented the Hunter Mill District on the board since 2005, and it's possible that he's just warming up. He has inspired other members of the park board as well as county leadership to look at things differently, to consider fresh, thought-provoking ideas that challenge the status quo. Tonight, he offers welcoming remarks and presents a Chairman's Choice Award to an icon. Please welcome Park Authority Board Chairman Bill Bowie.
Good evening and welcome to our awards program. Tonight we honor dozens of individuals as well as some corporations and organizations that for years have contributed to the park system. Sometimes we've asked for their assistance or talent, but many times they saw a need and rose to the occasion. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. understood this phenomenon, noting that everyone can be great because everyone can serve. It's that simple. First, congratulations to every person recognized tonight. Job well done. Special thank you to my fellow Park Authority board members who throughout the year, pandemic or not, have continued to move this park system forward. They have served with grace and humility, and a special shout out to the staff team who always puts this show together and manages our awards program. And my warmest appreciation to the Board of Supervisors who remain open-minded and flexible and willing to consider important changes that will result in a park system that welcomes everyone. In small and large ways, so many people find a means by which they can give back. Giving back to our communities is fundamental to everyone's well-being. If we give back only a little of what we have received, we are better ourselves, our communities are stronger, and in this case, our park system. In the words of Maya Angelou, I found that among other benefits, giving liberates the soul of the giver. Tonight, there must be a lot of liberated souls in attendance. In these times where we must often search for hope or pray for human kindness and understanding, that's a very good thing. Each year we look around us and we try to find those uncommon individuals who rise to the level of performance or giving or long-term commitment that would result in the Chairman's Choice Award. Over the years, we have bestowed only a handful of these honors. Tonight, we give former Chairman of the Park Authority Board, Elly Doyle, this award. She is an icon, a woman who let nothing get in the way of her zeal and determination to build a better park system which would serve Fairfax County residents for generations. She understood the importance of persuasion and the need for building coalitions, as well as the importance of setting aside green spaces, protecting open space and stream valleys, and doing what it took to find the means, the funding, and political support to do so. She likes park bonds. She liked rec centers and places people could recreate and get healthy. She is a worthy recipient, as we will find out as Mason District Supervisor Penny Gross knew her well, and the Park Authority Vice Chair Maggie Godbold, who understands the importance of volunteer service, will reveal in this tribute.
Elly Doyle was a significant influencer and a key figure in creating the Fairfax County Park System as we know it today. Elly Doyle served on the Park Authority Board from 1958 through 1974. She was elected Park Authority Board Chair in 1965 and served through 1968. Her leadership style was inclusive, powerful, and reassuring in its belief that the park system, still in its relative infancy, would expand and start to meet the needs of a growing community.
She was always trying to be an advocate for women, and I always appreciated that.
Elly was setting the foundation for the parks and all of the opportunities here that I now take advantage of.
She was on the Park Authority Board back in 1958. She was a very young woman at the time.
She was a pioneer and a groundbreaker. She had positions of authority that few women had. And she created opportunities, not just for herself, but for all the women that followed.
I think you can look back on the trailblazer that she is and was. She was on the Park Authority at a time when most pictures that you would look at historically of any kind of a governing body would have almost no women.
It was hard to imagine the need for parkland when the community was still rural in many areas and only starting its growth as the suburbs. But she had a vision and the moxie to make saving green space a priority. Today, the Fairfax County Park Authority owns nearly 24,000 acres of parkland, with most of those lands in their natural state. FCPA is the largest landholder in Northern Virginia, in large measure due to the work Elly began. It remains the accomplishment she is most proud of today.
Preserving open spaces and preserving land is something that everybody thinks is a great idea, but to think about what it really means, it means so much in terms of physical health, mental health, psychological.
We've seen a tremendous improvement in people's attitudes toward parks. They love their parks, they're loving them to death.
Think about what happened during the pandemic. People came outside in droves because they recognized the psychological and even physical value of being outside.
I think that a lot of what Elly did early on to make sure that we acquired land and to make sure that we had the kinds of rec centers and facilities that people were going to want, and now of course it's expanded tremendously. So she would be very proud of what she started.
The Park Board has used park bonds to finance park expansion and facilities. Ms. Doyle supported park bonds, an effective tool for funding new parks and land acquisition, and an influential element in establishing a world-class park system recognized nationally with several gold medal awards. She served as a vocal advocate, a one-woman green team for the agency's numerous bond referenda over the years.
Park bond funding, what that does is that it spreads the responsibility for what we're doing to our entire county. So everybody participates, and it's a way of investing.
Park bonds always get a huge vote. Any elected official would be envious of the margin that a park bond gets, because it's usually in maybe the 70% range or even higher.
It's an investment in your existing park system, and it's an investment in the future of your park system, because we need to be sure that we not only acquire new things, but maintain what we have.
People obviously love their parks. They want more parks, and they're willing to vote for the bonds that will help us not only acquire more land, but develop more facilities.
Ms. Doyle recognized the importance of volunteer service and encouraged residents in Fairfax County to truly make the growing park system an integral part of their lives via participation, service, and advocacy. The Park Authority Board established the Elly Doyle Park Service Award on December 20th, 1988. The purpose of the award is to publicly recognize a volunteer or group of volunteers for outstanding contributions to Fairfax County parks. Since 1988, more Park Board awards have been created and added to opportunities to thank volunteers, philanthropists, collaborators, those who protect the environment, and those who celebrate and preserve history. This year, the board added an Equity, Inclusion, Diversity, and Justice Award that will add to the agency's and Elly's legacy of accomplishment. And speaking of accomplishment, the first recipient of the Elly Doyle Park Service Awards was Mason District Supervisor Penny Gross.
So when the Elly Doyle Award was created, it was to, honor her enormous legacy for the Park Authority.
She did it because she wants to see a better future. I mean, think about this. When you plant a tree, you're not planting it for yourself. You're planting it for your children. And maybe not your children or your grandchildren, but for someone else's.
It's been 33 years since I was given the Elly Doyle Award. I had been a park volunteer with the Friends of Mason District Park, one of the founders, and had done a lot of work over that 10-year period. So I sort of got it for time and volunteerism. And it was a big deal then, and for me, it's still a very big deal.
Elly Doyle was selected by the National Recreation and Parks Association as the recipient of the American Park and Recreation Society's Citizen Meritorious Service Award. Similarly, the Park Authority Board named Ms. Doyle as the recipient of a Chairman's Choice Award, once again honoring her dedication and lifelong accomplishments on behalf of the Park Authority and the millions of residents who enjoy Fairfax County parks.
So when Elly Doyle was doing all of this work, she wasn't doing it for herself. She was doing it for me and for a lot of folks that she didn't know. And so when I take advantage of this, take advantage of the parks and all of the opportunities here, I need to think, how can I thank her for that? And the best way to thank her is to pay it forwards and helping out for the next generation.
Thank you, Chairman Bowie, and congratulations to Ms. Elly Doyle and her family. Our next speaker is a longtime friend to Parks. Board of Supervisors Chairman Jeff McKay is a lifelong Fairfax County resident, born on the Route 1 corridor and raised by a family of educators. It was his grandmother who first instilled him with a desire to work in public service, hosting voter registration drives at her home and fiercely advocating for affordable senior housing. His career, first as an aide for Supervisor Dan Kaufman for more than a decade, and then in 2007 as the lead district supervisor, positioned him to serve as the chairman of the Board of Supervisors since 2019. He is also an admired regional leader in Virginia. Supervisor McKay was recognized with the Park Authority's 2021 Chairman's Choice Award for outstanding contribution toward the county's world-class park system. But most importantly, he understands the challenges we face as our system ages. He understands why residents love our parks and the One Fairfax mission as we become more diverse. Please welcome Chairman of the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, Jeff McKay.
Good evening. I am Jeff McKay, Chairman of the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, and it's a pleasure to join you in this celebration. Let me begin by congratulating all of the awards recipients honored tonight. Every year, I am amazed at this incredible gathering of dedicated volunteers and philanthropists, and tonight is no different. Park Authority volunteers and volunteers across Fairfax County contribute thousands of service hours annually in more than 30 program areas and on 85 boards, authorities, and commissions. If you want to give back to the community, pursue a particular interest, or serve as a community leader on a board or commission, the possibilities are endless. The Park Authority has a tremendous volunteer program, not just for thousands of individuals each year, but also for local businesses and corporations that wish to provide their employees the opportunity to contribute service hours. Your employer may be among the 15,000 companies that match employee volunteer hours and charitable contributions with donations of their own. One of the lesser known benefits Fairfax County offers to our employees is volunteer leave. 2 days each year of paid leave to volunteer service in their community. It's a popular way we encourage employees to take time to make Fairfax County a better place to live. The numbers of Park Authority volunteers are impressive. In fiscal year 2022, 3,555 volunteers provided over 103,000 service hours. While the pandemic caused a reduction in the number of volunteers and hours served, I know more and more volunteers will return in the months and years to come. In fact, when I spoke at the volunteer recognition at Frying Pan Park earlier this year, it was clear that our volunteers remain enthusiastic and absolutely focused on the future. One of my favorite volunteers is former President Jimmy Carter, who wrote, "Throughout my life, I've seen the difference that volunteering efforts can make in people's lives. I know the personal value of service as a local volunteer." I consider those to be important words from the former leader of the free world and the winner of a Nobel Peace Prize. President Carter is approaching 100 years of age, and I think if he can still find the stamina and time to swing a hammer for Habitat for Humanity or advocate for other important causes, then each of us should be able to make room in our hearts and in our busy lives for volunteer services. Another president, Ronald Reagan, also understood the importance of what we give back. He noted, "The work of volunteer groups throughout our country represents the very heart and soul of America. They have helped us make this the most compassionate, generous, and humane society that ever existed on the face of this earth." That is why gatherings such as these are critical. Even though we may not show our appreciation every day, volunteers such as yourselves should know your work is noticed and makes a tremendous difference. Your generous spirit provides hope for the kind of society we all want to live in. I also want to take a moment to recognize the work of the Park Authority Board, who are also volunteers. I thank you for your dedication, your ingenuity, and of course, your leadership. You understand that on the back of adversity lies opportunity. Martin Luther King Jr. reminded us that a genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. Chairman Bowie and other members of the Park Authority Board, I commend you for your service to Fairfax County. The bottom line is you get as much back or even more when you volunteer and dedicate time to causes that are important to you. It enriches your life in countless ways. You connect with people who are part of your community, you can gain new skills, and you can realize new perspectives. Even through challenging times, each of us has the capacity to make a difference in ways big and small. Sharing a smile with a customer, getting the carts lined up for a round of golf, teaching children with autism or other physical challenges to swim, or working to clean our streams and control invasive plants are all important, and again, greatly appreciated. I wish you and yours a happy holiday season filled with blessings and a wonderful new year. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. As many of you know, it was Jeff that first asked me to serve with the Park Authority, and that has been exceptionally rewarding. Our next award honors Harold Strickland, longtime chairman of the Park Board and a strong believer in the collaboration and cooperation that was the key to success of Henry Ford, the founder of the Ford Motor Company, who understood the concept and noted, if everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. Tonight, we honor two legendary friends groups that brought to life Margaret Mead's well-used adage to never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Congratulations to the members and leadership of the Friends of Frying Pan Farm Park and the Friends of Lake Accotink Park, recipients of the 2022 Harold Strickland Partnership and the Collaboration Award. Let's find out the details.
The Friends of Frying Pan Farm Park have a significant partnership with the Park Authority and with the staff here at the park. It enables the staff and the Park Authority to do so much to provide new opportunities for visitors who come here. My name is Jack Pitzer. I'm president of the Friends of Frying Pan Farm Park, and I've been active out here in Friends leadership for more than 40 years. The Friends of Frying Pan Farm Park help raise funds to support activities that go on here, such as the concerts, the tours of activities, the wagon rides, and we make our contributions through the Park Authority Foundation, which helps strengthen and increase the potential of activities for members of the community. The animals at Frying Pan are a major part of our activities around here. It's certainly important for those who come to visit and bring their children. It helps us tell the agriculture story of Fairfax County. But we raise money because, and are able to do so because many friends have a passion to make this opportunity ongoing. And so they donate when we have campaign, and they help us provide veterinary support, feed, hay, take care of the pastures our animals are using. All those things are ways that people in the community support care and use of the animals here. I believe the Friends was honored for the Strickland Award because we reach out and make an effort to work cooperatively with other agencies and groups in the county and in the community help us make this whole experience here at Frying Pan stronger and better.
The partnership between the Friends of Lake Accotink Park and Lake Accotink Park is important because we work together really well, and that lets us get things done. I'm Jim Hickey. I'm the secretary of the Friends of Lake Accotink Park, and I've been with the organization since the beginning, which is about 15 years ago. We do a cleanup the second Sunday of every month right here at the lake. We set up, people come in and volunteer. Sometimes they sign up ahead of time, sometimes they just show up, it doesn't matter. We'll give them a pair of gloves, a bag, we'll give them a vest, and send them out to clean up the park. It's really important because that's what makes this place stay beautiful. We have dog waste stations around the park. There are 11 dog waste stations on the trail that goes around the lake, and you need a bag to take care of the business, we've got them there available for you. There is a wonderful pollinator garden here. It's named for a local resident, Margaret Kinder, who was an educator, and that's why we call it the Margaret Kinder Educator and Pollinator Garden.
And she loves gardening, and she wanted to help us create a beautiful space for native plants that would also support pollinators in the area, because some of their habitat is going away and there are a lot of invasive species which we don't want. And we worked with a native plant specialist to decide which plants would be the best for this particular area, which gets a fair amount of shade.
It's been here a couple of years now. It really flourishes, and we give classes about pollinating so people learn how important those things are. I'm very happy with the cooperation we get with the park people here. They're great to work with. If we have a project, we talk to them about it. We get guidance from them. They ask for guidance from us on certain things sometimes, and then we can accomplish miracles here.
Oh gosh, it's such an honor to receive the award, because it not only recognizes Friends of Lake Accotink Park, but it also recognizes all the people in the community who help support this.
And it's not just the people that are the members of FLAP, it's the people that show up every month and take a trash bag and fill it up. They're the people that really deserve this award. And we're happy that all these people get recognized, because there's hundreds of people that come and clean up.
Well done. Our next awards are presented by the Fairfax County Park Foundation. The foundation is a proud co-sponsor of tonight's awards and a contributing partner to the Park Authority, attracting millions of dollars in support of Fairfax County Park outreach programs, facility improvements, and events such as this. Please welcome Park Foundation Executive Director, Roberta Longworth.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us as we recognize accomplishments of our amazing volunteers. Sponsoring the Elly Doyle Awards is a labor of love for the Park Foundation. We are pleased to acknowledge and publicly thank the many donors and contributors who support parks through the Park Foundation. Every donor is important, and each gift is appreciated. As always, I want to recognize the Park Foundation staff, including Margaret Thaxton and Brooke Nielsen, in addition to volunteer Howard Albers, for their continued hard work and dedication. Thank you all. The Fairfax County Park Foundation inspires philanthropy and a passion for parks in Fairfax County that help bridge the gap between identified needs and available public funds for our parks and open space. The foundation supports the Fairfax County Park Authority by raising private funds, obtaining grants, and creating partnerships that supplement tax dollars to meet our community needs for programs, scholarships, services, parkland, and facilities. That's our mission, and that is what we have been doing for more than 22 years. Whether by large corporate grants or small contributions from children's lemonade stands, or through family foundations, IRA distributions, donations through a will or other planned gift, or the donation of vehicles, we see the impact of giving from thoughtful park lovers each year. With that, I ask that this holiday season, or any time of year for that matter, would you please consider a donation to the Fairfax County Park Foundation? Albert Einstein reminded us that It is everyone's obligation to put back into the world at least the equivalent of what they take out of it. In 2009, the Aiken Philanthropy Award was established to recognize the visionary, financial, and material contributions to the Park Foundation. The Aikens bring out the best in people and serve as an example to inspire others who wish to leave a legacy in their parks. The Park Foundation's Board of Directors selected 4 recipients in 2022. I am pleased to thank each officer and director who makes a significant difference through their volunteer board service. Joining me virtually to present this year's Aiken awardees are Anita Herrera, the Park Foundation Board Chair, as well as Laura Aiken Erlacher, Park Foundation Vice Chair.
Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity to share in this celebration. The Park Foundation had a fantastic year. We were able to assist the Park Authority with many programs, including the popular summer entertainment series, Frying Pan Farm Park's 4-H Fair, and other community outreach events, and the Stewardship Education Center, to mention just a few. We expanded the Leadership Society for donors who provide extremely generous contributions. Once again, the Park Foundation achieved the platinum level of transparency, meeting all vital standards and ethical practices required to earn that highest ranking by Candid and GuideStar. The Foundation received an overall Give with Confidence score of 100 out of 100 by Charity Navigator. All key factors to confirm that much appreciated contributions are well utilized to help the parks that donors love. I believe it is extremely important to take a few moments to show our appreciation for those who gave so generously. Businessman Bill Ford noted, "Creating a strong business and building a better world are not conflicting goals. They are both essential ingredients for long-term success." Philanthropy is seen as a virtue that all humans should possess. Our honorees are exceptional and embody the best tenets of philanthropy. Let's learn more about 2 of our recipients. It is my pleasure to present the 2022 Aiken Philanthropy Awards to the Adler Foundation for underwriting the new Stone Amphitheater at the Stewardship Education Center, and to Wegmans for sponsoring the summer entertainment series and more. Thank you to these meritorious honorees.
Good evening. You might think that after many years of bestowing the Aiken Awards, we might run out of worthy recipients, but just the opposite is true. I come from a family where philanthropy is the norm and a rich tradition that we can continue. Thanks to Leroy Aiken Sr., our daddy Roy, my family provided a great example with the provision of more than 250 acres that became some of the first parcels of land that form this expansive park system. Maya Angelou wrote, "I've learned that you shouldn't go through life with a catcher's mitt on both hands. You need to be able to throw something back." Our 2022 recipients have given back and represent the best of the best. The Eleanor C. Lawrence Park Friends not only raise funds in support of the park and its existing and future amenities, but they also sponsor wonderful family activities that recently brought music to the park, help visitors understand natural and cultural resources, and ultimately become stewards of our parklands. Of course, active recreation offers the benefits of health and competition and the ability to build confidence. McLean Youth Soccer, Leidos, the Embassy and Ambassador of the United Arab Emirates Partnership showed the real power of collaboration when they banded together to improve opportunities for all at Holiday Field in McLean. Let's find out the details of these philanthropic endeavors.
What I do today is important because I'm exchanging a day of my life for it. So today is important. Our mission is to be an important part of the community, in addition to being vocational, which is really our primary. We care about the community and we like to give back. We have been supporting the parks for many years. We've donated to the county for an outdoor amphitheater, and we also support some carousels because we love horses, we own horses, we ride horses in the parks. We've also donated to Hunter Mill Concert Series because we love music. The Adler Foundation is very honored to receive this award because we value our place in the community.
We have a phrase at Wegmans that came from our current CEO's grandfather, Robert Wakeman, and that is never think of yourself, always help others. And I think that really speaks to who we are as an organization. We like to say that we're a caring company with a passion for food, and we truly are committed to making a difference in every community that we're a part of. And really, Wegmans' commitment and Wegmans' contributions to the community began even before the opening of our Fairfax store in 2005. And our support has grown, including our work with the Park Foundation as our footprint has grown across the county. I think the work of the Park Foundation ties in very well with some of our giving priorities, including health, community collaboration, and support of the youth. I mean, really the work being able to create a better community for everyone in Fairfax County. Well, with the Parks Foundation and with Fairfax County Parks in general, we've supported a wide variety of things over the years. Most recently, the Starlight Cinema and the Summer Entertainment Series, and then recently the Stewardship Education Center at AC Lawrence Park in Chantilly. But ultimately, the decision to support, as the case of all of our giving decisions, was made by our local store team. So Wegmans is honored to receive this reward as a recognition of all the hard work and the commitment from our employees across Fairfax County. So on behalf of all of us, thank you.
One of my favorite quotes is from Margaret Mead, which is, "Never doubt that a thoughtful group of committed citizens can make a difference or change the world," to paraphrase her. So the Eleanor C. Lawrence Park Friends Group is just a small group of volunteers and neighbors who love the park. Our mission is just to support park programs and initiatives and try and secure anything that the park may need that is not already being supplied by Fairfax County Park Authority or tax dollars. So for the SEC, we're lucky that the Fairfax County Park Foundation has been able to help fund a lot of that, but it needed more fundraising, so we tried to jump in and raise money. The Fairfax County Park Foundation is important to the community because it picks up where taxpayer dollars leave off. So it helps not only to build community all around Fairfax County, but to help provide natural resources, cultural resources, support friends groups like our own. So the ECLP Friends, we helped raise money for things, for example, like trail cameras, wildlife feeding stations, as well as water table, engineering weights and measures, and musical flowers even, which will teach music, which all feeds into the STEAM loop. So we do a variety of events. We're always coming up with new events. We recently had Parktoberfest, but our main purpose is to really support what people like John Schaefer and Kirsten Fiore need. It's an honor for the Friends to receive this award because we are a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens, and we're happy to give back to the park that we all love. So I also just want to thank my fellow board members, Amy Swindell, Ellen Bliss, Chris McGlone, Ellen McGlone, and all of the volunteers and neighbors, and my family, frankly, who've been very helpful. They have to put up with a lot from me doing these things. And also, of course, John Schaefer and Kirsten Fiore, who are here at the park. They make this park what it is and have for years and years. So we're just happy to be able to help them out.
The McLean Youth Soccer Association, MYS, is a 2022 Aiken Philanthropy Award honoree. This honor recognizes ongoing outstanding contributions to FCPA parks, including the Holiday Field Project, made possible through a partnership with Leidos, and the embassy and ambassador of the United Arab Emirates. In 2021, the completion of the new synthetic turf project was completed at Holiday Field next to Spring Hill Elementary. The new field includes a full-size rectangular soccer field available for football, lacrosse, field hockey, and small-sided soccer.
McLean Youth Soccer is honored to receive the Eakins Philanthropy Award. We have partnered with the Fairfax County Park Authority to develop 8 synthetic playing fields in McLean to benefit the youth of the community. Our vision statement provides that we as a club strive to positively impact our community, and one of our core values is to serve others in McLean and the greater DC region. We strongly believe in the importance of soccer and sports in general in helping youth achieve their full potential in life. In furtherance of this, the joint projects with the FCPA have benefited not only the 3,000 or so area kids who play recreation and travel soccer, but also the many other youth sports in McLean, such as football, lacrosse, and field hockey, and the community as a whole by providing quality and safe parks that everyone can use. We'd like to especially acknowledge Roger Crone, CEO of Leidos, and Ambassador Yusuf Al Ataba and the Embassy of the United Arab Emirates for their financial contribution to the development of the Holiday Field by Springfield Elementary School. Without their generous support, the field would still just be an item on our wish list. Again, thank you very much for your recognition of our work, and we look forward to continuing our partnership with the FCPA.
MYS also funded restrooms and a shelter at Lewinsville Park and has agreed to provide operational costs, including annual cleaning, repairs, and utility expenses. This agreement demonstrates how improvements are possible through a public-private partnership with Fairfax County Parks. Congratulations to the McLean Youth Soccer Association for being honored with the 2022 Aiken Philanthropy Award.
Thank you to the Park Foundation and to our wonderful contributors and recipients of the 2022 Aiken Philanthropy Awards. Our next awards embody the spirit of volunteer service. It's estimated around 63 million Americans volunteer every year, and the average volunteer donates about 50 hours of service per year. The Park Authority numbers are equally impressive, but on a smaller scale. Please join me as we meet our 2 Elly Doyle Youth Award recipients, Ava Belmont and Yasmin Marrero, followed by our 3 Special Recognition Award recipients, Stuart Copen, Chuck Welsh, and the Jefferson Manor Citizens Association. We follow those up with 2 2022 Elly Doyle Award winners, our highest award of the evening going to Stephen Markle and Willow Martin. Let's look at these amazing winners.
I volunteer because I want to give back to the community that gives me so much. My name is Ava Belmont, and I have been volunteering with the Laurel Hill Park volunteer team since November 2020. So as a Laurel Hill Park volunteer, we sort of go wherever the park needs us. Some days we'll be working in the pollinators garden, usually in the spring and summer, and other times we'll be working on trash pickups or working on a specific area of tree that need work for invasive vines, English ivy, Japanese honeysuckle, those sorts of things, we need them gone. And I found the Laurel Hill Park volunteer team and, absolutely fell in love. The community that we have is just so unique, and one of the things that I think definitely helped me throughout the pandemic for my mental health was being outside in nature and taking time for myself. And I want to be able to give back to the parks that help all of our community take care of our own mental health. I'm truly honored and humbled to be receiving the 2022 Youth Elly Doyle Park Service Award. Ella Mae Doyle's contributions and service to Fairfax County has left a very long legacy that means so much to young people like me, and I really want to honor that legacy as much as possible. And I hope that by receiving this award and by continuing to try and encourage other people to volunteer, that I might be able to inspire some other young people to be change makers and volunteers within their community, because it just takes one person to make a difference.
I volunteer because I think it's really important to give back to the community and the environment that we love so much. My name's Yasmin Marrero. I'm the Young Flappers Director, and I've been volunteering with the Friends of Lake Accotink Park for 3 years. The monthly cleanups are every second Sunday of the month. It's a great way to engage the greater community in cleanups. So first, I usually set up the tables, the tent, and the chairs. We put all of the resources for volunteers to both learn more about the park and to actually get ready to clean up. I also direct volunteers, making sure that they get all the right materials, and I educate them about what FLAP does in general, as well as the general park if they're new to the area as a whole. So besides the monthly cleanups, I've also founded my own event. It's called the Quarterly Trash Off a High School Showdown, and so it's basically an FCPS high school competition for teams to come out and compete for who can collect the most trash. The winner gets a pizza party, and it's a great way to get students involved in what we do. I'm honored to receive this award because it shows that we've had a direct, significant impact on our community, and I'm very proud to know that. It's also great because it shares what we do with the rest of the county, and I really hope that they take some of what we do and implement it in their own communities.
I volunteer because I can, and it makes me feel good. My name is Stuart Copen, and I'm a park volunteer. I've been volunteering here at Burke Lake for 10 or 11 years now. So there is no real typical day. It depends what's going on at the park. You know, if Arts in the Parks is going on, then I'm organizing that concert series. If they need me to drive the train, then I'll be over here driving the train and the merry-go-round. It goes hand in hand. After you drive the train, then you go and run the carousel, and then you take a break. Then you come back out and drive the train, then you run the carousel and take a break. If they don't need me to do that, then I'll be out on the trail trimming the bushes. If they don't have anything specific that I need, then I'll go around the picnic loop. We have 6 shelters, and I'll go around and pick up trash so that when the people come, they're mostly reserved on the weekend, so when they come, they want a nice, clean picnic area, so I'll make sure that that's ready for them. When I was growing up in the area, I was a distance runner, and I spent a lot of time running around the lake here at Burke Lake, and I estimate that I've done about 1,800 laps. And so I don't run anymore, but I got a good 45 years out of it, and I attest that mainly to Burke Lake and running on the trail here. And so I think it's time to give back. You know, as I mentioned, I've got the time and I've got the ability, so it's time to give back to the park because it gave a lot to me.
So the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. So my name is Derek Cole. I am the president of the Jefferson Manor Civic Association, and our group works collectively with a band of volunteers to do what we can to keep our park clean and safe and inviting. Throughout the year, we'll do a lot of volunteer-based projects that'll focus on cleaning up litter and trash, both in the green spaces and in the watershed, as well as invasive species removal. So what you'll see our volunteers doing is removing some of the vines and other things that'll starve out some of the trees and other native bushes, whatever we can to keep the park looking clean and in great shape. So a couple of years ago, our park pavilion was in pretty rough shape, so a lot of us banded together, and so we painted the entire pavilion. We cleaned up all the trash, we painted the pilings, and just gave it a refresh, so to speak. So we are honored to receive this award because it really shows recognition for the countless amounts of volunteers that work so hard to bring this park to the members of our community and future generations. And again, seeing so much green space, you know, going away with urbanization in our world, we really protect and preserve it as best we can. And we're honored because Fairfax County is over 1 million residents and 420 parks within the system. So to say, you know, thank you to our small band of volunteers really means a lot to us.
I volunteer because I have the free time and to receive the golf benefits that the Fairfax County Park Authority offers here at Laurel Hill. My name is Chuck Welch, and I've been a volunteer at Laurel Hill as a starter since 2016. Volunteer work here at Laurel Hill starts off first thing in the morning with bringing the golf carts up from the cart barn onto the golf deck up top next to the starter shack. From that point, then Once they're up there, then we go ahead and get the tablet and look at the tee times and the golfers that are associated with the tee times, and then open up the ball bins for the golfers to get their range balls, their warm-up balls. Other volunteer duties would be picking up trash in the parking lot and around the clubhouse, and policing the driving range where the warm-up balls, sometimes they're left down there, and bringing the baskets back to the starter shack so that other golfers can use them. The fact that I've met so many great people here in this position, a lot of people are in the same situation where I am, where they've had other careers, and we've joined together here and have really met a lot of wonderful people. I'm honored to receive this award because there's so many people that are deserving of this award, and to be chosen, to receive this award is certainly a big honor when there's so many that are deserving.
I volunteer because I have spare time and I want to use that spare time to do something meaningful. My name is Willow Martin. I'm a volunteer IMA site leader, and I've been volunteering with IMA at Oakton Community Park since July of last year. I'm concerned about invasive plants and the impact that they're having on our environment and what they've done to Oakton Community Park, and I am grateful to have the opportunity to help remove invasive plants and restore the natural habitat of this park. I also love working outside, so this is an opportunity to work outside. I feel like what I'm doing is important and is having an impact. So we have done a lot of invasive removal work since we started removing invasive plants back in July of last year. A couple of the major projects, we removed invasive plants in 2 large areas along the main trail, and then in place of the invasive plants, we planted a number of native tree and shrub seedlings, including persimmon, black haw viburnum, red oak. Another major project that I think we worked on was removing the autumn olives along the edge of the meadow. I'm honored to receive this award because I understand that it's a very prestigious award, and I think it reflects upon all of the work that our wonderful volunteers have done over the past months to help remove invasive plants and restore the habitat at Oakton Community Park.
I volunteer because it brings me great satisfaction and enjoyment. My name is Steve Markle. I've been the adopt-a-parker, if you will, since 2002 here in Gilman-McCutcheon Park. Before that, I was part of the community task force in the late 90s, 1998, 1999, established by Jerry Hyland, the Mount Vernon District Supervisor, based on community interest in converting what was then the Lamont property, a privately owned property of 18 acres, into a community park. So I've been involved in this park since before it became a park, and I'm still involved. A typical day for me out in the park, it depends, like everything else. If I'm by myself, I walk the trails. I walk them with tools in hand to keep the trails open and safe for people to go for walks. The other role is as a volunteer coordinator. And we will have IMA work days, invasive management area work days, where we're removing invasive species. We'll also have other park work days where we're actually improving the trails through spreading of stone dust and building of water bars and other features to help keep the trails safe and accessible to the public. In maintaining the trails, one of the features that we do is install water bars. And water bars are devices made out of rock or wood or whatever that are used to direct water off of the trail to minimize erosion. I guess I'm the eyes and ears out here for the park as well, Park Authority. If I see something, I call Area 3 and they take care of it. So it helps, I think. It's kind of a team effort between the Park Authority and myself and others to keep the park the way it is. I'm honored to receive this award because it's always nice to have somebody say thank you. You know, I'm most honored when I'm knee-deep in bushes out here, playing in the wet dirt or whatever, clipping back or something, and one of the users of the park, they'll stop by and they'll say thank you. We really appreciate it. So as a volunteer, when people say thank you, that means a lot. You know, we're not doing it for the thank you, we're doing it because we know that it needs to get done. And if not us, who?
$420 parks. That's right, 420 parks. That's a lot of walking, a lot of time away from family, and it's a lot of commitment. But it's what Park Authority Executive Director Jay Cole took on last year and completed in late September on National Public Lands Day. She is certainly to be commended. Of course, it was not just about a walk in the park. It was about seeing firsthand what shape our system is in, learning about the sites and the people who visit them, and laying the groundwork for park advocacy and support via the budget through the lens of One Fairfax and via park bonds. Jay brings more than 2 decades of leadership experience with award-winning recreation and park agencies to this position. She comes to us via the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, where, before joining us, she served as chief of the Park Planning and Stewardship Division since 2018. There, she provided overall strategic direction for long-range planning, natural and cultural resource management, development review, and trail planning and construction. With just over a year of service to Fairfax County Park Authority under her belt, please welcome Executive Director Jay Cole.
Good evening. It is such a pleasure to be here tonight with you. Just in case you missed the big message, thank you, thank you, thank you. We simply could not operate our park system without our volunteers. In good times and bad, we know we can depend on you to provide expertise and caring, talent, and dedication. Amazing may be an overused adjective, but I feel it best describes your service to the community and to the parks that millions of residents use every year. Over the years, the Park Authority's awards program has grown. We've seen the addition of the Sally Ormsby Award that honors those who protect the environment. We've added the Harold Strickland Award to celebrate collaboration and partnership. We honor those who celebrate and protect our historic past with the Mayo Stunts Award. And now, we have added the Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Award, and tonight I have the honor of introducing the inaugural presentation of this award. It was established by the Park Authority early this year. The purpose of the award is to recognize significant and tangible contributions made by individuals, organizations, or businesses that enhance diversity system-wide and foster a culture of inclusion in parks. We will meet the winners in just a moment, and they are an amazing couple who do the right thing because they can and because it makes a positive difference in the world. But before we hear their story, I wanted to acknowledge the Park Authority Board, who created this honor, sending a powerful message to our community that we are fully committed to the tenets of the award. This board has never shied away from acknowledging the need to foster a more equitable park system, a system where quality recreational opportunities are available and accessible throughout Fairfax County, regardless of where you live, where we don't turn away or limit the number of children in Rec Pac because of a lack of space, and where summer camps offer the magic of field trips and adventure at every site. When One Fairfax was adopted, this board did not hesitate for a moment to add their voice to the cause. It's a journey, and we are really at the beginning of that journey, explaining why our present funding model is not a sustainable or inclusive policy, adopting and implementing our own equity plan, making sure our staff reflect the diversity of this community, and always taking a pause and framing park planning and decision-making through an equity lens. Educator Cynthia Almedo noted, "Inclusion is being asked to dance. Equity is allowing you to choose the music." our inaugural recipients of the Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Awards, ROCKS. Let's meet them and dance with them as we celebrate their accomplishments.
I volunteer because it brings me happiness.
I volunteer because I grew up in that environment. My father always volunteered.
My name is Praveen Chandra Dave.
My name is Hansaben Dave, and we volunteer for the Adapted Aquatics at Southern Rec Center. So I thought it would be wonderful to help these kids who have some disability and develop their confidence and see if they can swim and enjoy themselves. So that is why I thought this will be a good volunteering.
In Adapted Aquatics program, we teach the children with the disability, we teach them the different strokes of swimming, we teach them holding of breath for a little while, we teach them how to break the fear of entering the water, and we are there to help them for learning swimming.
When I see the smiles on their faces, and then slowly and slowly make the progress, and they move on, to the next level, that brings me intense joy. I think it's very important because these kind of kids get easily forgotten by society. But these type of programs, we put more attention on them, and we help them develop confidence, and we show them that you can live your life and enjoy your life, and you can achieve some things in life. I just do it because the joy I get is an award for me. I enjoy seeing the kids be very happy. Maybe I'm getting this award to inspire other people, I guess.
Thank you, Jay, and congratulations to our awardees.
And now, one of the best parts of tonight's celebration, as we honor the folks in the trenches, those individuals who get the job done day in and day out.
Each year, we look in amazement at the contributions of our incredible volunteer corps. During the pandemic, volunteers were the last to leave sites and among the first to return, demonstrating their commitment to volunteer service and their love for the Park Authority. Individually, they represent a host of different cultures, particular interests and skills, as well as areas of expertise. Collectively, they are amazing, showing their passion for altruism and caring, kindness and ability, as well as spreading the gospel of why parks are an integral and vital part of our community. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to share with you the 2022 Outstanding Volunteers as selected by their peers. Let's meet them and hear their stories. Ava Belmont is a freshman at York College and volunteers with the Laurel Hill Park Volunteer Team in IMA, where she leads subgroups during larger events and provides guidance to volunteers with less experience. She's volunteered regularly, conducting invasive management activities, and she's known as the group's most consistent and long-tenured volunteer. Since 2020, she has volunteered at the front desk at Mount Vernon Rec Center and has also taught skating classes. She is an inspiration for others. Anna Alatrash has that can-do attitude that has allowed her to step up in many different areas at Spring Hill Rec Center. She provided musical and movement sessions to the preschool team, assisted in inventory and organization of supplies and equipment, assisted in the fitness department with classes and cleaning, and answering customer questions. In addition to adding value to the preschool program through her musical talents, she recently became certified in yoga instruction. For the last 5 years, Dave Barnard has shown his flexibility and helpfulness. From the beginning, he's been willing to travel to any site that was short on volunteers. Although his home base is Cub Run Rec Center, he goes to other rec centers whenever needed. All who have worked with him value his kind, gentle, and consistent style. His outstanding contributions have been in the pool, getting student athletes more at ease swimming in the deep end of the pool and serving as an inspiration and guide to new instructors. William Dowd began his volunteer service with the Park Authority as a play manager at Twin Lakes Golf Course in 2019. He leads the Tuesday morning shift and supervises all activities associated with on-course management. Dowd's reliability and dedication are something he brought with him from his long career with the U.S. Navy. Over the last year, he provided on-course training to new volunteers. His positive attitude is very helpful when it comes to handling unique situations that may arise and presenting guidance or even a gentle warning in a pleasant manner that conveys the message. He exemplifies the role of a volunteer, helping golfers in every way to enjoy their round from check-in to departure. Dan Dyke is dedicated to Colvin Run Mill. Dyke has undertaken many projects, from setting up and helping with events to cleaning mill gears, organizing the wood shop, and clearing out weeds in the mill race. He's been instrumental in planning, setup, and working at events. Noticing the need to update the education center, he organized a group to paint the 2 rooms. As president of the Friends of Colvin Run Mill, he helped raise money to buy new lighting and installed it. When he saw that the site was running low on storage space for grain, he helped procure and install a new freezer, allowing the site to produce and store more grain for sale in programs. Dyke also established and maintained a social media presence for the Friends group, increasing the visibility of the site. It's Elizabeth Etherton's initiative, excellent communication to park managers, and the inspiration she sparks in others that makes her a gem of a volunteer. Etherton cares about the garden at Frying Pan Farm Park and how it's used as a teaching tool with the public. She stepped up to ensure the garden was properly cared for and maintained. She developed an annual plan for the garden and drafted garden activities for Frying Pan's Spring Farm Day. In addition, she assists with arranging environmental education activities. Another volunteer makes things happen out at the farm. Jerry Lipinski brings an incredibly positive energy every time he comes to Frying Pan Farm Park. With him operating the carousel, riders are in for a fun and interactive experience. His attendance and dedication ensure that the carousel is available for the enjoyment of park goers and allows staff members to perform other duties that benefit the park. Joya Foreman is committed to making Green Spring Gardens a place for everyone in the family, and it is this dedication that underlines her 5 years of service to the Park Authority. With the pandemic still keeping the site closed, Foreman created family activities in the gardens that were accessible and interesting to visitors and helped celebrate Green Spring Gardens' 50th anniversary. Examples include poems through the garden in the spring and finding 50 frogs to commemorate Green Spring's anniversary. She was also part of the team to develop story time in the gardens to include Korean and Spanish languages. Alan Figgett is a dedicated volunteer with a passion for speaking on astronomical topics. He's spent thousands of hours of his own time participating in the Friday night public viewings, special events, as well as the courses that he teaches at Turner Farm Park. Figgett developed astronomy courses, maintains the telescopes, and has worked with many parents and Scout representatives for schools, retirement homes, and Scout groups to arrange activities at the park. Dave Gorsline tackles a unique volunteer role each spring as the Duck Nest Box Coordinator. He trains and supervises a small group of independent volunteers, which meets at Huntley Meadows from February to June to monitor duck nesting activity in the park. They also repair and maintain the boxes every year. Gorsline's commitment to this program has been a significant contribution to the long-term natural resource management at the park. His efforts ensured institutional knowledge is shared with new volunteers, the nest boxes are well maintained, and that there is data to aid in natural resource management decisions. For almost 5 years, Janet Yeager has been volunteering at the Lee District Rec Center as a front desk associate. She gives patrons accurate and current information, which is essential after rec centers reopened. Yeager sets an example for newer front desk associates, carrying herself in a professional manner with a can-do attitude. Always willing and able to lend a helping hand, she volunteered to train several of the Pulley Career Center students as well. She is an invaluable team asset. After 22 years, Susan Jones has only gotten better, and that's why she is once again an outstanding volunteer. She's given 199 hours to South Run Rec Center this year, and throughout her volunteer tenure has contributed more than 4,000 hours. As a front desk volunteer, Jones exemplifies friendly helpfulness in all her dealings with customers and staff. Her dependability, enthusiasm, and follow-through have done much to influence new customers to join and old ones to keep coming back. Brian Keith has been an active outdoor volunteer since January 2019 and a great asset to Sully Historic Site. Whatever the task, moving firewood to setting up and taking down tents to ensuring candles are lit during candlelight tours, he's ready to tackle them. He also cleared invasive materials from the Cane Branch Archaeological Trail at Sully, making elements of the historical structures in the park more visible to visitors. His work assisted the public in viewing and commenting on proposed waysides in the historic Canes Branch Trail project. Full-time student Owen Cross was among Hidden Pond Nature Center's most active volunteers during the past year. He often steps up to help with programs or fills in for other volunteers. He helps with cleanups, trail repair, and invasive plant removal, and his help is critical in the park's unique programs, such as the Animal Sweethearts Dance and Campfire Fridays. Christine Lansing is an exceptional volunteer at Riverbend Park who leads bird and wildflower walks. She's knowledgeable, friendly, and reliable. Program participants rave about her teaching skills and the walks. She engages with park visitors on the trails to provide education about the natural areas and wildlife. She immediately reports down trees and issues to park management so that they can be addressed rapidly. Her dedication helps park staff monitor bird and plant species throughout the park. For this year's Bluebell Festival, Lansing volunteered to lead wildflower walks. She also took on training of a new roving naturalist volunteer. Finally, she promotes other park services such as programs, hikes, classes, and camps. Yasmin Mario began her service to the Park Authority with the Friends of Lake Akating Park as a monthly trail cleanup volunteer. Fitting with her passion as a steward of the environment, she created the Young Flappers subgroup. She already has volunteered more than 200 service hours. Yasmin challenged her fellow high school students to get more involved, earn service hours, and remove pollutants from Lake Akating's 493-acre park during monthly cleanups. During the 2021 school year, she coordinated the first FLAP quarterly trash off, which drew 200 volunteers who collected an estimated 3,000 pounds of trash. Moreover, students throughout Fairfax County gained increased environmental awareness of how pollution affects parks and watersheds. Since 2014, Mike Messman has been volunteering at Greendale Golf Course, holding a variety of positions. During the pandemic, he took responsibility for key areas in the golf course and took on numerous maintenance duties. Throughout the year, rain or shine, Messman and his golfing colleagues undertook different projects that would not have been completed without their efforts. Kim Newen is willing to assist in different ways, including stepping up to help when there is no official volunteer coordinator. When the longtime volunteer coordinator left, Newen learned the process of onboarding volunteers. In April, she led a successful watershed cleanup at the Cub Run Stream Valley, which encompasses 8 different cleanup sites, including the area around the rec center. Making customers feel welcome and supported are just some of the reasons Providence Rec Center's Brenda Pryor is appreciated by patrons and staff alike. She's provided many suggestions and ideas, including producing an insert letting customers know that they can use their pass at all rec centers and not just at Providence Rec Center. Pryor's presence at the front desk enhances the quality of each customer's experience. Customers feel welcomed and heard when she's on duty, and she is on a first-name basis with many of the rec center's regular customers. Beverly Rivera's work as a volunteer has transformed an area of Lake Akating Park overrun by invasive plants. For the past 3 years, she has hosted a public work day almost every Saturday. In the past year, Rivera organized and led 47 public work days, volunteered 182 hours, and led 617 volunteers who themselves contributed 1,407 service hours. In addition to removing invasive plants, Revera also plants many native species to help restore the healthy habitat. Last year, Revera and her volunteers planted 393 wildflowers and grasses and 113 shrubs and trees. Alice Shipp personifies the expression, age is just a number. She is always ready with a friendly smile and a willingness to get any job done at Oakmar Rec Center. In addition to helping prep and maintain garden beds, Alice has been instrumental in helping plant more than 100 flowers in the beds and containers around the rec center that creates a welcoming appearance. Many have taken notice, including one customer who posted on Twitter, "Whoever takes care of the landscaping at the entrance to Oakmar Rec Center does an amazing job." Mary Beth Smith's friendly personality and can-do attitude make her a standout volunteer. As a front desk associate, she is the first point of contact for Audrey Moore Rec Center customers. Smith has endeared herself to the front desk staff with her open and friendly demeanor, especially during busy times at the rec center. She is unflappable when there are last-minute changes and knows how to diffuse potential issues even before they arise. Her positive rapport with staff and patrons, along with her capable problem-solving skills, makes her a true asset to the team. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the 2022 Outstanding Volunteers. Thank you and congratulations.
What a fantastic gathering tonight, and what a great array of winners. Every year, it seems like our recipients get better and better, regardless of whatever life throws their way. Thank you for the many kind words and comments on the chat. Thank you to the many people who wrote and submitted nominations. Much appreciation to you, our vibrant and impactful speakers as well. And of course, I offer huge congratulations to all of our winners tonight.
I do as well. And I want to take another moment to mention our staff team that worked so hard to put this presentation together today. These folks will start work on next year's ceremony within the next few weeks. Thank you for the hard work you do. Thank you to Channel 16 and producer Pam Gardner. Thank you to PIO Judy Pedersen, leading her last Elly Doyle Awards program this year, and thank you to the Park Foundation for helping to support this program and so much more. None of us know what the future brings, but for all of us at the Park Authority, and especially from Cynthia and me, we wish you happy holidays and a fantastic 2023.
Good night.
Be safe and be well.